and I work on my attitude. Sometimes I get sleep, not that often. When I'm traveling, not right now. With the rapid growth that we have right now, I mean, the growth here is tremendous, and obviously we have to be here to support that growth and grow the company. So I've been very busy, but I've got some decent sleep, but I'm going to work on that. The key thing here is the culmination of all of these things. Putting them together. When you put them together, that's really what did it. But if somebody said to me, "Hey, Tim," so when I started doing that, when I started introducing the plan, the body, mind, and soul plan, I then really got into motivational materials. I read one book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I'm sure that probably everyone in here has read it if you're from Utah. If you read Stephen Covey's book, he's from Utah, so you probably heard or understand the philosophy or read the book. Well, all I did was read the first chapter, Be Proactive. And in that first chapter, Be Proactive, it's make it happen from inside. Make the sun shine from inside. Forget about what's happening outside you. Ignore all of that and just make it happen from inside. And I made a commitment on that day, and I wrote down 10 goals on that day. I remember that day because it was my daughter's birthday, August 9th, 1995. It was my daughter's birthday. I wrote it down, and I started that Body, Mind, and Soul program right at that same time. And we went right up to 1,600 units, and eventually we sold the company about 8 months later for $8 million. And my partner and I, we just didn't see eye to eye right from the beginning. We never got along. It was fine because we took the money and then turned that into Just Energy, and it became a very successful company. And the thing is what happened. I made a commitment to increase my learning. So I made a commitment to increase my continual learning to about 3 hours a day. Okay, so I took it from where I was putting in about maybe 20 minutes a day of continual learning, either reading motivational books and listening to CDs, up to about 3 hours a day. Now, it was good for me because I lived about an hour away, so I could get 2 hours into my commute back and forth. And I would force myself to read, at least 30 minutes a day. So I was doing at least 2 to 3 hours a day. And right from there, right in there, when I wrote down my goals and started educating and focusing on training, educating myself and transferring that back to all my reps, because everybody in here is building a team. Your team's only going to be as good as you commit to your personal improvement that you can share with your team. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay, so you as a leader, because in network marketing it's all about leadership, right? So everybody in this room, and I say Pearson, Lennon, they remind me of each other so much. God bless my former partner Pearson. That's maybe why we hit it off so well, because Pearson was a phenomenal storyteller. We just loved listening to him talk, and I say he loved his war stories. He was just, he'd sold encyclopedias for 16 years door to door. I mean, who does that? I mean, I thought I was bad at 9 years. Who tortures yourself for that long? But the thing is, when you get really good at it, it's not torture, it's fun. And I loved it. I'm telling you honestly, I loved it. I was just talking to the folks from Nebraska about going out in minus 29 degree weather, knocking on doors, but I really liked it. Okay, that's the thing about it. It was fun, it was enjoyable because I was winning. Right? Because we all like to win. We all love to win. When people start saying they don't like to win, they're just lying so they don't have to let themselves down. So we all like to win. So we love to win. So people say, if you really want to be successful, what do you have to do? Well, number one, more continual learning. So more CD listening and more reading, okay, of motivational materials. I mean, I'm reading a great book right now. It's called Happier. Who in here would like to be happier? Aristotle says that the pursuit of happiness is what one of the greatest philosophers in the world says that's what life should be about. It should be about the pursuit of happiness. This book, Happier, is written by the Harvard University professor who teaches the course called Happiness at Harvard University. It's the most believe it or not, it's the most sold out course at Harvard. It's got the biggest lineup. You can't get into it. And he's just put out the book. Again, it's in the bookstores right now. You'll see it's Happier. Buy the book. It's phenomenal. It's about balance. Okay? He says there's 4 types of people. There's 4 types of people. He says there's rat racers. Okay, what's a rat racer? Well, a rat racer is somebody that just goes now for the future. Okay? I've fallen into that category before. I think if you are a obsessive entrepreneur, you're going to fall into that category. Some of us in this room might fall into that category at some point in time where we've gotten to where a rat racer, we're only working for tomorrow. The next is a hedonist. Okay, so a hedonist is someone that just wants to have pleasure now. Okay, and usually there's going to be some fallout, some consequences, and the next is I don't know how to pronounce it, nihilist, someone that just doesn't like much at all, okay, and continues to punish themselves and, just beat themselves up all the time. And then the next person is the person that finds the balance, between working hard for now and finding a way to enjoy themselves at the same time. And I think that's key, and I think that's part of what Truestar is all about. Truestar is all about finding that health balance, and at the same time being able to share that balance, find that balance and share that balance with others. So that's the whole key. And he teaches in here, here's a story. Here's his little story about hedonists. Because so many of us, I think, at some point in our time, we've just said, no, I want everything now. Just what I want. I just want what I want now. Because we've all got goals, and I don't want to wait. I just want it to be there now. I just want Truestar to be a $5 billion company now. Okay. I just want this. That is what everybody's hit that point sometime in their life. So when you think about it, all of us have gone through all of those categories at some point in our life. We've all been at a point probably where we were a rat racer, or where we were just working for tomorrow, where we were a hedonist, where we just wanted pleasure now, where we were a nihilist, where we were just having a pity party. Okay, or where we were balanced. We've been in all of those stages. The key is to be aware of it and to realize when you're getting too far into one of the other 3 stages that you try and move to the 4th stage. I think that's really important, that we try and stay in that area. So he tells this little story in there about this bank robber and murderer and not very nice guy who dies, and as he's dying, he goes in. It's from a Twilight Zone episode. He goes on to the Twilight Zone episode, and he sees the angel, beautiful angel, comes and he says, you can have everything you want. He thinks, what am I doing here? How did I get into this place? So he asks for some money, and he asks for some beautiful women, and he keeps asking and asking, gets everything. After about 3 months, he's bored. Okay, I don't want this anymore. Send me to the other place. And you see the angel actually changing, and it wasn't really the angel at all. And he already was in the other place. Because if we didn't have to work for what we got, we'd never really be happy. I think that's really the key. When we look at some of the things that we want to move towards, when we look at it and I say, well, what do you want to do? Well, I think that, if you could really learn to overcome your fears. Okay, I think that overcoming fears is the number one thing to being a great networker. Okay, fear of contacting people. Okay, fear of getting started, fear of making lists. See, for me, I went to the doors, I knocked on the doors, I forced myself, I overcame my fears, I went to the doors. We all have fears. Everybody has their various fears. I was looking at this today, and I want to look at, and I was talking to Dr. Andy, and she was telling me, we were telling, I have a fear of heights. Okay, I don't like heights anymore. I don't know how that happened. This is a great attitude site for you, by the way. This is my daughter's attitude website, truemindbody.com. Okay, now she right now, if you take a look on here, she's in Peru right now, and she started truemindbody.com. She's 20 years old, and she started truemindbody.com to make an impact on young women, 14 to 30 years of age, to teach them to be less self-conscious and less materialistic and more about peace and love. And she's right now in, let's see, where is she? She's in Machu Picchu. She's on her way to Machu Picchu. She's in Peru. And here's what it looked like yesterday when she was hiking. This is her blog, and this is the picture. She's a Truestar distributor, by the way, and the trainer that she went with, he's a Truestar distributor, and he's signed up quite a few people. And she's, she just brought him on because she wanted him to follow the health program, and he's been signing up a bunch of people. But here they are at 15,000 feet. And if you read this, it says Om, because she's very much into yoga and meditation. And it says, so yesterday was amazing. We did our acclimation, made it to a glacier glacier lake at 14,000 feet. I'm going to just increase the size of this here so I can see it better too. Everybody else can see it better. So we did our acclimation hike to a glacier lake at 14,000 feet. Nature is so divine. After this, we went back to lodge and had a delicious lunch of quinoa and a Peruvian dish, rice, beef, and veggies. They totally made mine with soy meat. She's become a vegan, and it was bomb. The food here is unreal. I then hopped on a horse to go for a ride. At one point, the horse started galloping, and I'm not experienced with these animals, so I was knocked down with the horse's decision to take off. So I was getting ready to put on the reins, but instead I decided to take in this once-in-a-lifetime moment and just let go of the fear. It was surreal. Try facing one fear a day. Fears are not real. They are negative perceptions of what could happen. Let yourself let go. After horseback riding, I gave the ladies of the group a yoga lesson. They loved it and wanted to go do it daily. Today we hiked to 15,253 feet. Wow, what a mind test. We went through sunshine, snow, and rain. I embraced every step. We can do anything we put our minds to. I pushed out any discouraging thoughts I had about making it, and Mark and I ended up leading the group right to the top. The lesson learned: always support yourself, set positive goals, and only form positive thoughts around this goal. It will be accomplished. This is the coolest thing I've done in my life thus far, and I'm excited to continue the adventure and share the feelings of love, motivation, and inspiration that continue to fill my soul. So, this is her site, this is her passion, and you can see the name True Mind Body. This will be linked to the Truestar Attitude section, and this comes from a girl that going through high school happened to be in one of the worst groups of kids in her school, went through some major challenges between the ages of 14 and 17, and then made a choice to turn her life around at the age of 17, and did so. And now is a leader. After Machu Picchu, she's going over to, she's coming back to San Diego to see me for a little while, for a couple weeks, and then she's going to India to work in the House of the Dying, where Mother Teresa worked. And she was there last year. She was in an ashram last year in the summer. And we're not talking about an eat, pray, love ashram. We're talking about waking up at 4 in the morning, meditating for an hour, doing your yoga, and then serving people all day long that virtually have no food and not eating any food. And that's what she'll be doing at the House of the Dying, and then documenting all of this on her True Mind Body. She's on a 6-month leave, and then she's going to come back and get more involved in teaching people here. Being that she's young, she thinks she needs to go out and do it and show people what she can do before they'll take her seriously here. But I take what she's doing there pretty seriously. I read this and I say, wow, there's somebody that's not only facing their fears, there's somebody that's taking the time to educate other people on facing their fears. When I look at this and I go back to this and I say, well, what holds us back in becoming a great networker? What holds us back? The only thing that holds us back really is fear. Okay, and that's fear of, ultimately, it's fear of making the list and contacting. Okay, it would be the same thing for me when I knocked on doors. It would be the fear of going out and knocking on those doors every single day. If you could understand that any fear that you have is false evidence appearing real, and you understand that the more that you contact, the more that you show the plan, all right, the better you're going to get at it, and the better your closing ratio is going to be, and then you're going to be able to help your team overcome their fears too. So it always goes back to me, what does it go to? And this is why you need so I say, well, Tim, what about, you just said, the continual learning. You said that you need to have 2 to 3 hours of continual learning a day. Well, what if it's 30 minutes? I know you're supposed to meditate for 30 minutes a day. Well, sometimes I only make 5 or 10 minutes. Well, yeah, if you can only get in 5 or 10 minutes of continual learning a day, great, it's better than 0, because your brain is like a computer. It's GIGO, right? Garbage in, garbage out, good in, good out. You put good stuff in, you're going to get good stuff out. If you're putting in some positive CDs, some positive books, some positive learning, you could just, something could just hit that, could just change you. Because something just hit with me when I was training those people in neighborhood protection services to bring out this program and to teach them on this program, and then all of a sudden, bang, I changed and I committed to putting in my hours of continual learning so I could share this with my team, and then all of a sudden my income went up tenfold again, went up 10 times again. So the relation to following the True Mind Body or the Truestar program is not just for your health, it's for your income. So I really built Truestar as an it's when you follow the program, and if you look at it, 99% of Fortune 500 CEOs are on a regular exercise program. Read motivational books on a daily basis, eat healthy most of the time, and follow these habits. Whether they know how to take good supplements or not, I don't know, but I know they can afford $1,000 a month.